Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to work on a pasta dish. It's complete stovetop. And the name of it is Philly cheesesteak pasta. You need to go ahead and cook your rotini. According to the package directions, you're going to do a 16-ounce box. And you're going to go ahead and cook it, drain it, and set it aside. And then we're going to start on some chopped bell pepper, chopped onion, and 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to cook these until they're soft. And then we're going to get our ground beef and we're going to add that. We have several little things that we got to add as we go along, but it should be a pretty easy recipe. So I'll be right back. Let me cook this down just a little bit. Okay, y'all. So I'm ready to go ahead and add a little bit more to this. We're gonna add, oh, and also if you put mushrooms in it, this would have been the time for you to cook them. I didn't do that. So you're going to add about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I needed to check the measurements on that and make sure. And we'll cook this for just a few minutes. I'm going to turn my heat down just a tiny tad. Alright, now we're going to add all of our seasonings. I do not even have them ready, y'all. It's been a long day. Alright, we'll add all of that garlic powder. Onion powder. Both of those are going to be a half a tablespoon. So we'll put a little more in there. Thought I had enough garlic powder. We're going to put some more. Garlic powder, onion powder, half a tablespoon on both. So that's about 2 teaspoons. You're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. You're going to need some celery salt. You're going to need about half a teaspoon of that. And salt and pepper. Your pepper is going to be to taste. And let's see. We're gonna put this in there. And then we're gonna put just a little bit of salt because I need to taste it later on, make sure it's not too salty. All right. I'm just gonna saute this for a minute. Okay. Now, a pound of ground beef. So whatever grease comes about after this, we are going to have to drain it, but we'll drain vegetables and all. Alright, I'm going to get my meat chopper so that I can break this up further. And we're going to let this cook until it's done, and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. So my meat and veggies are drained. I'm going to put them back in the skillet. Now, you are going to add a can of French onion soup. And as far as I know, Campbell's is the only one that makes it. I've not seen it anywhere else. So, 1 can. And we're going to let this simmer. And while this is simmering, we're going to go ahead and add a whole brick of cream cheese. And this has got to be softened. So if I were you, I would go ahead and put it in your microwave for about 30 seconds. I did let it sit out, but it's still a little bit too difficult. It was going to be too hard to stir. So I'm going to kind of mash this in. Incorporate this. Give it a minute to come together because my soup is not hot that I added. So I'm going to do all that. Okay. Trying to make sure that we're still on track. So I'm going to let this simmer. So it's kind of a low heat until this cream cheese is completely added. So the softening helps a little get us there faster, but you just have to give it a minute to incorporate. Okay. All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put our parsley in. Try to check this, how much that needs to be, a tablespoon. I'm not gonna do quite a tablespoon because I'm not a fan. So we're just gonna put a little, let's say we did it. And then I wanna stir that in. But if you're fine with it, put the whole tablespoon in. I did about 2 teaspoons because just not a fan. Trying to move some stuff around. All right. So what I'm doing now is I want to get this to bubble just a tiny little bit because I'm going to need it good and hot for our mozzarella that we have to add. And I don't want to put it in the oven to melt it. So working on that. Okay. Now you can go ahead and add your pasta. Still on low heat. 16-ounce box of cooked rotini. And I'm going to incorporate this in. You'll just lightly fold it in. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to add, turn off the heat. I'm going to add my mozzarella. We're going to stir in 2 cups and then we're going to put 1 cup on top. And like I always say, pepper jack would be really good in this, I think. But mozzarella is good too. All right. So we added our 2 cups of mozzarella. And now I am going to scrape the spoon off. And I am going to put another cup of mozzarella on top. And I'm just going to let it sit for 10 minutes before it's time to serve. I'll come back and show you the finished product, but I'm going to go ahead and put this lid on and let it sit. Make sure your burner's off before you do this step, okay? I'll see you back here in a few. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. I did end up sticking it under a low broiler just for a little while because it just was not melting fast enough. But it's all done now and complete. And it was a real simple dump and go type stovetop pasta dish. And I hope that you'll try it because it smells great and I'm sure it's going to taste good too. Today we are going to make a 1-pot chicken and orzo. And I've already chopped up some chicken breast. It's supposed to be about 12 pounds of raw chicken breast. Let me get this out of the microwave real quick. And you need to put about a tablespoon of garlic and herb seasoning on it. I'm just going to use my Kinder's The Blend. You can use whatever garlic and herb seasoning that you prefer. And you're going to season it with this. Now the moisture has gotten to this. And I'm having to break it apart to use it. So if you'll just bear with me a second. And also, I'm using the dishwasher, so if you hear a bunch of noise in the background, that's what that is. So since I'm having trouble out of the seasoning, I'm going to use just a little bit more than it calls for. The recipe calls for about a tablespoon. So I'm going to use just a little bit more. I've already got my skillet heating up with my oil. And that's all you need to get done up to this point. But you're going to take your seasoning and you're going to mix your chicken up with the seasoning. Hopefully your seasoning's way better than what mine has done. It's not behaved well. Alright. And then I'm going to just put it over in my oil here. I've got it on like medium heat. And I'm going to cook this until it's golden brown. And then we're going to add, I'm going to add some garlic powder and some onion powder. It calls for minced garlic cloves and dried minced onion flakes. But I'm just going to add the powder because I think that'll be faster and quicker. But this is going to definitely be a one-pot meal. So, and it has little to no ingredients at all. So this will be really quick and easy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cook this real quick and I'll come right back. Alright y'all. So I am going to go ahead and stir this one last time. And we're going to go ahead and add us some garlic powder and onion powder. You can do, let me rephrase that. You can do as the recipe does, but I'm going to just do it with powder. Trying to make sure I don't mess up. Okay. Set these aside. I mean, I really don't see why you need it extra, but I guess it's going to be really flavorful and garlicky. Alright, now, stir this up a little bit, and it's all going to mix together, so it doesn't matter if I use this spoon or not, y'all. Okay, so here, 3 cups, or a little less than 3 cups of chicken broth. And then a cup of orzo. And we are going to reduce the heat and let this simmer for about 15 to 18 minutes. And I will come back here when it's ready. That's really all there is to it. We have a little bit at the end, but that's basically done. I'll see you back here in a few. Okay, y'all. So it is finished. The last few things that you need to do, I'm going to use some dry parsley. The recipe calls for fresh. So I'm just going to put roughly about a teaspoon because I'm not a big fan of dry. And about a half a cup of shredded parm. And you're just going to stir it in. And that's it. Now, of course, you can use fresh where it calls for fresh. I keep dry on hand for a reason, so I don't have to run out and go get fresh, and I always have whatever I need. But that's it. And it's a stovetop recipe. It's dump and go, and we are finished. That's it. All right, y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.